Welcome back, everyone, to Drag Racing Central. Sorry, it's been a while. I've been busy. I haven't had the time to upload stuff. But while I've been gone, there's been a lot of silly season news that has been breaking through because the most 2022 thing, I guess, slash 2021 is that silly season just doesn't stop. It still hasn't stopped. I thought, like, once we got into 2022, it would calm down and we wouldn't really be hearing about silly season anymore. But I was wrong. I was so wrong. We got even more news. And I'm probably not even going to hit on all of it in this video. So if I don't hit on like your favorite news story, put it in the comments below and I will like pin it or something. I don't know. But we shall get into this. Buddy Hall will buy Tim Wilkerson's top fuel team, not his funny car team, his top fuel team. Because I heard some people online saying it was the funny car team. It is not the funny car team. Tim Wilkerson will still be out there in the funny car this year. A lot of people didn't know Wilkerson had a top fuel dragster, but he does. And I believe last year Daniel Wilkerson drove it at Dallas and maybe a couple other tracks. I can't think off the top of my head. Maybe someone else knows, but Daniel Wilkerson, that car was pretty all right. It was an all right car. I don't think it was a winner, but it was. It could have got to the semifinals, so it's a good car. Unless Tim Wilkerson's going to be tuning it, he will be the tuner for Buddy Hall next year. And their plan is to hit a part-time schedule. I don't know how many races at the moment. If you know, put them in the comments. But yeah, that's great news and another competitive car out there because I'm just gonna bring this up because I got tired of hearing about it. Everyone talks about car count, but like, do you want more cars and less competition, or do you want less cars but more competition? I don't know because Funny Car last year it didn't have as much cars as it did in the years prior, but it was the most competitive year in Funny Car history. I would probably have to say, in terms of like the amount of like wins that each different driver had. Like, yeah, definitely one of the best and most competitive years in Funny Car history. So I don't really think car count is going to easily fix all that. That's not an excuse for paying them no money though. They still should be getting paid a good amount of money. They still should be getting not pocket change for them. But that's a you could talk about that in another video. But Justin Ashley signs with Phillips Connect. Now I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea what this was when it first signed. I had no idea what Phillips Connect was. I know what Phillips is because I know they make a lot of smart technology. But Phillips Connect apparently is like something you do on your truck and trailer. I don't know any of that stuff. I'm not really going to speak on it. If you want to know, go to phillipsconnect.com or whatever website they have. I don't know if they have a website or not. But if you want to know, go to that. But I feel like this is a number one, that paint scheme looks amazing. I think Justin Ashley already won best paint scheme of the year, and we didn't even have the first race yet, but in my opinion, he already won best paint scheme of the year unless someone beats that. But yeah, I think that's great because bringing sponsors in that people know, even though they might not know what Philips Connect is, they know what Philips is. Because everyone nowadays has a smart TV or something that has Philips on it. Everyone has that. I mean, so that's great to reach out to the younger generation of fans, my generation, because I'll be honest, I was not around to see John Force's heyday and all of those guys' heyday, but I can relate way more to a Justin Ashley than I can a John Force. I can relate way more to a Josh Hart than a John Force, a Chris Baldwin, and so on and so on and so on. All these younger drivers, I can relate to them way more than I can a lot of the older drivers, and that's just probably a factor of being young. But that's also great because we need younger fans. Our sports fan base's age is up there, and we need to bring in younger fans and younger drivers doing young things is going to do that. So that's great news, and I will not be surprised if they extend. Now, I believe they signed for 3 races. I think it's the first 3 races of the season, but I will not be surprised if they extend because I have a feeling that's going to happen. So that's great, great news, and I hope we see more of it coming with more teams. And also, shout out to Justin Ashley and Davis Motorsports. They are killing it on social media lately. They have been absolutely killing it with content. There's a bunch of teams I could mention there because a lot of the teams actually have stepped up their social media games as of late. NHRA themselves has stepped up a lot lately, and I'm so glad they're doing it because that's what's going to grow our sport. Antron Brown, he does like weekly updates every week on his Twitter page and I believe on his Facebook page too. That's great. Keep it going. We need that. We need stuff like that. So that's very great that they're doing that. And into, I think, the big news of the week. Austin Prock makes his return to Top Fuel. Now, for some reason, you don't remember Austin Prock. He last raced at the Phoenix race in 2020, and then he obviously lost his ride due to the pandemic. And now that they found the funding, he's got his ride back. And Austin Prock's a big personality. Um, like I said, with that younger, reaching out to that younger generation, he perfectly fits the Josh Hart, the Justin Ashley sort of description. And it's going to be interesting seeing all these young guys mixed up a little bit. Because I want to see him and like Justin Ashley or something get together and have like, cause you can easily make like a report on that or something and make a story out of it. Like, it's so like there's going to be so much stories in Top Fuel next year. It's going to be crazy. But I think that's a big news, mainly because the car he's driving. Like, he is driving a JFR car. This thing can win a championship. This is a championship caliber car. And we need competitive cars on track. Not just cars, not just car count, competitive cars on track. If you're putting a car out there and the car can't win, in my opinion, this is my opinion, you could take it or leave it. There's no reason why you should be out there. At least if I was a racer, I wouldn't be out there if I knew I couldn't win. So, seeing a competitive car being put on the track is always great. So, like I said, you want 16 cars, but only 3 of them can realistically win? Or do you want, like, 12 cars, but most of them can win? Because that's kind of what we're moving towards right now, is, like, slightly lower car counts, but more of them can win. And in my opinion, I'm enjoying this way more. Like I said, look at Funny Car last year. Funny Car last year, there wasn't that many cars, but the ones that were there could win. And it made it very, very exciting. Probably one of the most best years of Funny Car in my lifetime. But of course I wasn't around in the 60s, 70s or whatever, but we're talking about now. That time has passed since then. So, that's about it for news this week. You agree? Disagree? Don't care? Leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.